It is the RIOT Podcast. Good Tuesday, January 3rd show to you. Hello, Isaiah. Filling in for Nikki, who has a vacation day today.
Hello.
We've been around each other for several hours now, but
Good
hello.
morning.
Greetings.
Hello.
Good to see you. How are you feeling after we suffered through the show a little bit today?
Yeah, we weren't feeling very good when we first showed up today, but I feel a little better now. I still don't feel 100%, but I feel better than I did yesterday and better than the day before that. So overall, throughout the show, it got a little bit better for me. My brain feels good. My body does not.
Yeah. That's good that your brain was at least.
I was sharp today, but I just didn't feel good.
Your brain and your voice is what's important. If you can't move your legs, it doesn't
really
bother
matter.
Me. Yeah, it
If I have
doesn't
the
affect
chills,
the show.
Whatever. If I'm kind of sad.
You got to tough it out.
Yeah, you can just power through.
Yeah, but we've got no Nikki today. The funny thing is, and we bring this up, is that she's not sick.
No,
Even
she's
though
not.
We're both sick. She's not taking a sick day. It's not like she's got it worse than us. She's just like planned ahead. January 3rd, I know I'm going to want that day off. And so she took it off. Vacation day.
Even though she's the most capable of the three of us right now, probably. She could have carried the show today.
But if she was here, maybe we'd be making her sick.
Exactly. So it's best that me and you just stay isolated here by ourselves.
I guess, as far as we know, I haven't talked to Nikki this morning.
She could have gotten us sick. She could already be sick.
We may have gotten her sick yesterday because neither of us are feeling 100%. So hopefully that's not the case. But I think we still, despite our current state, I think we put together a pretty good effort today.
Yeah, I thought it was a pretty good show today. We lead it off by talking about a man who left his wife behind on a little road trip.
Yeah.
And was it an accident? Was it on purpose? We think on purpose.
I think he needs to get better at coming up with excuses.
Yeah, that was just a bad effort there. I think it could have been a little bit less obvious had he not been so terribly obvious.
Wouldn't it actually have been better? It's a guy who he leaves his wife. It's in Thailand. It was a long road trip. They pull over for a bathroom break just on the side of the road, even though they had recently passed a gas station. Wouldn't it have been better if he left her at the gas station?
Yeah.
In almost every way.
In every single way.
Yeah.
If he had left her at the gas station, then it looks more normal. For him to have passed the gas station and him to leave her in the woods.
Yeah.
That looks incredibly suspicious.
So maybe it was actually an accident.
No, it was not.
You don't think so?
No way. Not a chance.
Yeah, I mean, how do you drive 12 miles not realizing your wife's not in the car?
And it's just you and you too.
Yeah.
It's not like there's a bunch of people in the car. Like she's sitting in the passenger seat. She's right there.
A very questionable situation.
We talked about that. We also talked about a woman who unveiled a very interesting thing about her ex-boyfriend, about his underwear of choice.
Yeah. So what is your answer on, I asked the question, how often do you see something on TikTok that blows your mind, that really just leaves you at a loss for words?
Not very frequently. Maybe like once a week.
That's what I feel. Once a week.
There's something that I'm like, whoa, that's crazy.
Is, it happens once a week, and I don't watch a lot of TikTok.
Yeah.
So that's what gets me, is that once a week, I'll just be shocked by something.
Something that really gets me. Like something that I'm really shocked by.
That just had never crossed your mind before. And that's what TikTok is there for.
This is one of those where you're just like, why in the world would you ever do this? And for me personally, I just can't even imagine why. We also talked about how to ruin your significant other's Christmas.
Yeah, and it's not by leaving them on the side of the road in Thailand in the jungle.
It's about a certain gift that you can give them that'll just ruin it for them for years to come. Yeah. Maybe your children's Christmases too.
It might ruin, I mean, it probably in many ways, in many different ways, will ruin not just Christmas, but many holidays, many just days and years to
Easter.
Come for you and for many others. But if it makes you personally feel better to do it, it is a new trend.
But I'm against it.
I'm glad that you said that.
I am against it.
I'm glad that you made that clear.
We also talked about Cheez It crackers.
You got that
Pretty
accurate.
good.
Got that right. I'm glad you said that too. That will make sense when we get to that portion of the show.
Yeah, I would say the Cheez Its. See, there it is. And I just messed it up.
Now you messed it up.
And I just messed it up.
And that will all be explained
later
when we get
on
to that portion of the show.
And that's all we talked about today.
I think that's enough.
That's good, right?
Listen to my voice.
I know you need to be
losing
done.
Steam.
Tomorrow you're going to be maybe hurting a little.
Either I'm going to be back and better than ever tomorrow,
or worse,
or I might not be able to do the show.
Oh, you better be in
Because I'm
there.
on the fringes now. don't
If you
think?
call out tomorrow, I'm going to be so upset.
I'm going to be upset.
Because I don't feel good.
I'm tired of sitting around at home not doing anything and being sick.
I know. I want you to be in here, and I want Nikki to be in here, and I want to be able to sit over there by myself when I'm sick and just hang out.
There's only one thing that will stop me from doing the show tomorrow, and it's not how I feel. It's that if I can't talk.
You literally just sound ridiculous.
if I can't talk, I can't do the show.
I think if anybody calls off tomorrow, we just got to call the whole thing off.
You think so?
Because I don't want to suffer in here.
But we don't want to abandon everybody.
True, that's fair. We're going to do the show
I don't
tomorrow.
know. So I feel
We're
like
going to be fine.
Somehow everybody they'd be okay.
They'd make it through their day.
Yeah, which doesn't say much for us, does it?
Does not.
It's the riot.
See you guys.
It's the worst of the riot on Radio U.
Okay, picture this, Isaiah. Let me set the scene. It's Christmas Day. You're with the woman of your dreams. You've married her, and you've been together a long time. You're on a road trip. You're going back to her hometown. Spend some time with her family on Christmas Day, and it's a bit of a long drive. But what do you got to do on a road trip? You got to pull over, take a bathroom break. So that's what this guy. We have a man and a woman. They pull over. This is Thailand, the country of Thailand.
Okay.
So they, and it was curious, the man who was driving passed by a gas station, and then a little further on down the road decided, I gotta go.
Okay.
And so he pulls over, he takes his bathroom break. The wife decides, I'm gonna take advantage of this situation as well. She wanders a little bit into the jungle. She has to, she's a
So
woman.
we're talking just side of the road pee here.
Well, yeah.
We're not talking like a gas station.
No, he passed the gas station.
Okay. Go on then.
You've been in the situation, right? Where
of course, yes.
You're driving on rural roads and you don't know when the next gas station will be.
Fair. I mean, for me, that's no big deal at all. I mean, if I had a girlfriend at the time, I feel like they would push back against that a little bit more than I would. But, if she's down for it, she's down for it.
Yeah, so the woman decided, I'm going to take advantage of this. I've got to go too. Or again, who knows the next time we'll stop. So she wanders off. Again, this is Thailand. She takes a few steps off into the jungle. You got to be discreet about it.
Mm-hmm.
And so she goes to the bathroom, but she returns to the car to find that there's no car to be returned to. The man has driven off without her.
The old dipperoo. I'll see you later.
He drove off down the road, and you really got a question at this point because the woman, he doesn't turn around to come back. You'd think you'd pick up on the fact that your wife isn't in the car pretty quickly.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's not like she's sitting in the back seat.
If it was unintentional.
Yeah, she's
not
for sure
hiding over there.
front seat riding here with you.
So he drives off down the road. The woman wound up having to walk 12 miles. 12 miles before, because she didn't have her cell phone. She was just going to the bathroom. Why would she bring her cell phone with her?
Nice.
And I know I've learned with ladies, they don't like to have their cell phone when they go to the bathroom because you have to pull your pants all the way down. The phone will fall out.
Makes sense.
Into the toilet. Not in this case because she was in the jungle, but she left her phone in the car. So she doesn't have her phone. She got to walk 12 miles before she got some help. She's talking to the police. She doesn't know her husband's phone number. So they're calling her phone about 20 times in the car before he finally realizes and makes a U-turn and comes back to find her.
Now, if you expect me to believe that was not intentional, there is absolutely no way in any world this man did not do that on purpose. That is 100% intentional.
I think I'm with you. Brilliantly planned.
I mean, yeah, that was perfect. I mean, you passed the gas station, and then you're like, maybe I do have to go. Pull over side of the road. You know what?
Right.
Honey, don't even worry about the phone. Just hop out. Let's try to make this quick.
Why don't you go too?
Yeah.
We don't know the next time we'll see you stop.
Who knows?
Yeah.
I'd rather not stop again soon. And then, obviously, you're going to be a little bit quicker. Hop back in the car, get going down the road, and your wife is walking alongside the jungle for 12 miles.
I do just wonder what he thought the end result. What was his end game here? What did
What's
he
the
think
motive here?
The best case scenario for him, and when it's all said and done, was?
He for sure just wanted, like, maybe they'd been bickering a little bit during the ride.
I believe there must have been some marital strife.
Oh, for sure. And so maybe he just wanted like a half an hour or so of just like maybe just
Silence.
And then he's like, I know I'm going to go back and pick her up, but I want 30 minutes of relaxation. And then when I come back, I'm going to be completely shredded a new one.
Yeah.
There's no way she didn't hop in that car.
Was it all worth it?
And just totally. I mean, if you thought the first however many hour ride was bad,
Yeah.
I mean, the second half of that trip heading to her parents' house had to be abysmal. It had to be terrible.
That had to be some of the worst. That's some of the worst moments of your life right there.
Oh, for sure. I mean,
but he
after
did get the 30 minutes of silence.
He did get that 30 minutes to, take a little refresh,
I mean,
recharge.
she walked 12 miles, so probably longer
Maybe
than 30
even longer
minutes.
than that.
He might have had like several hours.
I
of
mean,
silence.
12 miles, that's a far walk.
That's a long walk. So was it all worth it? Only he can say.
This is Radio U's Worst of the Riot.
We have a man in Japan who just spent 23,000 of his own hard-earned dollars to become, at least visually, a wolf. Shout out to Ashton, who texted in and was pretty close. Ashton said had seen the story. Ashton said dog, and I mean it is a dog, but more specifically, it is a wolf. And Isaiah, you've seen the pictures. What's your first reaction to $23,000 on a realistic wolf costume?
When I saw the headline, I was like, this is really dumb, right?
Yeah.
And I saw the actual costume, and I still think it's like really dumb to spend that much money.
It's a dumb thing to do.
Like I would never spend that much money, but I will say the costume is pretty crazy.
It's impressive.
It is wild. Like that, I mean, it's not worth $23,000 at all, obviously, for me. Maybe to this guy it is, obviously.
Well, you don't want to be a wolf.
Yeah, not as much as this guy does.
No.
And the costume is very impressive. Way too much money to spend on something so silly, but at the same time, it is pretty darn realistic looking.
I think it is, though. Like, I don't know. I don't know what. I've never seen like a wolf
In person?
He's clearly larger than a wolf. So if you saw this, you just based on size alone, you'd go, that's not an actual wolf.
Yeah.
But also, he seems to continue to stand on two legs, which a wolf would never do.
Yeah, I don't know why he's not down on all fours.
Yeah, so he's not that realistic of a wolf.
If he was down, I'll tell you this much. If he was down on all fours and he was walking outside by my parents' house in the country, there's a 100% chance my dad would be pulling a gun out to shoot him.
Yeah.
For sure. So he needs to be very careful where he places himself.
That is for sure.
Because he looks too realistic to just be prowling around in the country, because those hick folk out there will shoot you if you look that realistic, and he looks so realistic.
I don't know if there's a lot of guns in Japan, though. So.
Oh, he's in Japan?
He's in Japan, so he's probably
safe.
Then the other thing that's kind of sad is because, again, he's like, it's not that he's a large man. It's just any person is bigger than a wolf, than an actual real life wolf.
Yes.
At least the ones that I've seen. And so this would actually be more realistic if he wasn't in it. If you saw this as a wolf's rug, if you saw it as a rug.
Oh, yeah.
You'd think somebody shot a wolf and skinned it.
If he had this like hanging in his house, in his closet, I'm sure like if someone walked in there, they'd be like, oh my gosh, is that a real wolf skin? Like, because it looks so realistic that it would look definitely better if it wasn't on him.
But the only problem is, to me, the thing that really brings it down is the eyes. Because the eyes don't move, but somehow it depends on the angle. You look at it at one angle, it looks like, oh, that's what a wolf's eyes would look like. But then you look at it from a different angle, and doesn't it look like the wolf's kind of, like he's got some bad intent? You see what I'm saying? Where the wolf's kind of like, hey, baby.
Oh, are you talking about the side one? The side angle?
Where he's kind of
eyeing you from the side?
Yeah, where he looks like he's kind of...
a little bit seductive.
That's right.
That's the word you're looking for.
Well,
he looks slightly seductive.
But not in a I'm being seduced way, in a I'm uncomfortable way.
Yes.
And so they might want to work on that. They might want to spend another couple $100 to make the eyes seem less creepy.
Yeah, the eyes are, I mean, the whole thing, costume. If you are putting yourself in a wolf costume, I think the last thing you're worried about is being creepy. I think that you're just past that at this point.
Yeah.
If you want to be a wolf so bad that you spend $23,000 on it, I don't think you're really worried about looking like a creep. I think you're just happy that you're able to live out apparently
You
your
have
dream.
a singular vision, and that is being a wolf.
You just really want to be a dog, I guess.
And that's all that matters.
Which
to
for
you.
me, I'm not able to comprehend that kind of thinking.
If
So
you'd like to see the pictures of this $23,000 realistic wolf costume that this guy in Japan has, text us at 8772 radio. You'll be happy to send the link to you, and you can see for yourself the creepy eyes.
I wonder if the costume's soft. It's my next question.
Comfortable?
Yeah,
That
warm?
would suck if it wasn't comfortable.
This is the Riot. Radio U.
I think for me, maybe once a week. I don't watch a lot of TikTok, and maybe once a week somebody will send one, or I'll stumble across a TikTok. It just makes you just can't account for it. It's just difficult to understand.
Yes.
I saw this one, and I had to share it with you if you haven't seen it yet. This is a woman who's sharing the story of a man she dated for 5 years, who the entirety of the 5 years, from time to time, he would wear T-shirts as boxers. He would put on a T-shirt upside down. He'd put the armhole, what is typically the armholes, he'd put those on his legs, and then he'd kind of so it's upside down, and then he'd fold it over to, tighten it up, fold it down into his pants a little bit. And then, of course, you've got the neck hole for easy access if you need to go to the bathroom. And he would do this for and she dated this guy for 5 years. That blew my mind.
This is a wild thing going on here because obviously this makes no sense to me as to why you wouldn't just buy underwear. Probably less expensive than T-shirts are, if I had to guess.
Well, I did some digging because obviously a lot of people had a lot of questions.
Yeah, the comments are my favorite part. Reading through these comments are cracking me up by far. Almost better than the video.
I did like the person that said the government couldn't have waterboarded this information out of me.
Who's going to admit that they dated someone for 5 years that just wore T-shirts as underwear? I think it would have been better off if they just didn't wear underwear at all. I would rather have dated someone for 5 years that never wore underwear once than were wearing T-shirts as underwear.
Well, that's clearly
personal preference as well for me.
But that's, I don't know. But at the same time, if everything else is going smoothly, and then you find out somewhere along in the relationship you wear T-shirts as underwear, can you just break up at that moment based off of that only?
I mean, it's one of those things you're going to have to work on. I would be like, if that was,
How do you talk somebody out of that?
I think it would just be like an ultimatum. We're going to have to quit doing that as an adult. We're going to have to stop that. I don't know who taught you to do that. If your mom did some weird thing when they were younger and she told you that was okay, I think that this is wrong now. We're going to have to stop doing that. I'm going to buy you underwear and you're going to wear them. And I like the other.
That'd be a nice subtle hint.
Yeah.
That you just keep buying them underwear.
Another round of underwear. I like when somebody asked him, did he wear the same shirts that he wore as boxers as T-shirts?
Yeah.
And her reply was, yeah, sometimes.
That's
just such a defeated answer.
I found out, I watched some follow-ups, and so what she said was, this was only if he ran out, because he would wear regular underwear, regular boxers normally, but only when he ran out of clean boxers. So, you want to stay clean and sanitary. And so he'd use his clean T-shirts if he ran out of clean boxers when he didn't have time to do laundry. But she said that happened a lot, actually.
So he preferred actually wearing underwear.
Seemingly.
But if he ran out...
What he really preferred was not doing laundry, it sounds like.
Yeah, it sounds like he was really behind the laundry. Yet again, we're circling back to the fact that I think she just needed to buy him as many pairs of underwear as possible.
Every time.
Every single time she went to the store. Yep. Here's a pair.
Once a week, you make an underwear run.
Because if he doesn't want to do his laundry, I'm crappy at laundry too, whatever. But once I get down to 1 or 2 pairs of underwear, that's how I know. Okay, no, I have to do it.
Yeah.
I got to do my laundry right now to have that ready for tomorrow. He clearly did not care.
Is any part of you though a little bit intrigued
to see if I feel like it's
what
just
if it's
so
comfortable?
Much. But listen, it's just so much.
What if you had designated T-shirt boxers?
But at the same time,
because that's the issue to me.
It can't be.
Is that you're putting once you've used a shirt as boxers, and you can't put that. To me, I would never put that shirt back into rotation.
No, that's not making it back.
I can't have my neck hole have been near my
No.
nether regions.
Never.
I couldn't do that.
And, like,
That's
where
where
do you
I draw the
discern?
line with
Like,
this scenario.
Where do you discern which shirts are allowed and which ones aren't? Like, do you draw a line like, oh, this is one of my nice shirts that I can't be using this? Like, this is one of my nice, like, T-shirts for the weekends. I can't be using this as underwear.
Yeah.
But then you're like, oh, this is one of the ones I don't really wear that much, so maybe I can wear that one. Like, for me.
But if it didn't make a good shirt, then it wouldn't make good underwear shirt
No.
either.
And I prefer like that sounds like so much fabric down there. There's just too much going on.
Yeah.
I like to wear jeans. There's no way I'm fitting a T-shirt underneath my jeans. Like that's not gonna happen.
You'd
Too
have
much
to buy
fabric.
a bigger size of jeans.
And I'm not trying to look like that. I don't want to look like that.
I do. The best question is, how did he discover this? And we don't have an answer to that.
We do not.
The Riot with Hudson and Nikki on Radio U.
Cheez It. We don't talk a lot of Cheez It on the show.
I do like Cheez Its. I think that they are a little bit slept on, especially if you get like the jalapeno Cheez Its.
The
You ever had those
different
ones?
flavors?
Maybe they're Tabasco. I can't remember. The spicy ones they've got, real good. I like Cheez Its. I think they're slept on.
They're pretty solid. I think they're a solid snack. I think you can do just as well sometimes with the store brand. But
Really?
I think so. Yeah, I think if you go to Kroger, I think they've got a pretty good Cheez It
It's
impersonation.
decent.
Yeah.
It's decent.
But Cheez It has played a big role in the college football bowl games that have been going on. They actually have their own bowl, the Cheez It Bowl, which took place in Orlando, Florida. They also sponsored some other additional bowls. And over the course of the college football bowl season, in all of this, with all this attention on Cheez It, it was brought to everyone's attention that we've been saying Cheez Its wrong this whole time. That we've been incorrect when we refer to Cheez It. Because, I mean, you just did it moments ago. Cheez Its is not a thing. Cheez Its is meaningless. It doesn't mean anything.
A Cheez It?
A
Singular.
Cheez It is a single Cheez It.
Yes.
If you have multiple Cheez It, if I have a box
A
with
handful?
with Cheez It crackers in it,
Can you
that
toss me
is-
some Cheez Its?
no,
No.
I can toss you some Cheez It crackers. That's according to a representative from Cheez It, the company itself. The brand.
I don't know where I stand on this because I don't really feel this may be wrong. Is a Cheez It even a cracker?
Oh,
I always thought of it more of as a chip.
what? No, just stop that.
I'm being
That's
serious.
nonsense. That's nonsense.
Then
you're
what would
saying.
you
It's
consider
clearly-
it?
It's clearly a cracker.
Really? It's just kind of an odd little thing. I think I categorize it more as a chip because a cracker.
Well, chips are potatoes, first of all, which
I guess
Cheez
so.
It is made of cheese and whatever else.
Whatever else,
You put
exactly.
in a cracker.
But when I think about like what a cheese it really is, I'm thinking chip before
It
cracker.
is not a chip. Why are you being obtuse?
I'm
right
not being
now?
obtuse, but when you think of a cracker, you think of like a Ritz cracker. You don't think of
Yeah.
a cheese.
Or a goldfish cracker.
But if I'm like, let's get a snack, I would categorize Cheez It the same place I would categorize like any Pringles, combos, all those things are like the snacky things, goldfish.
So would it feel better if you call if multiple Cheez It
I'd rather have them be
was
Cheez Its.
Cheez It, but that's not what it is.
I know it's not what it is, but just weird that it's
That's
crackers.
according to Cheez It themselves. But what if it was a multiple? If you had more than one Cheez It, what if it was Cheez It snacks? Can you pass me
Yes.
some Cheez It snacks?
I'm
Can you
down
pass
with
me that bag of Cheez It snacks?
It's a snack. It's not really a cracker. Even though maybe it is a cracker, and I'm okay with that being a cracker.
I mean, that's what the Cheez It people say. Is
Yeah.
that they don't? They literally say Cheez It crackers.
I know, I get that that's what they're saying, but I really hate that they're doing that. I would rather just be Cheez Its.
It's difficult on us, right? Because we're not just regular, ordinary people. We're broadcasters. We need to be accurate. We need to be correct in all that we pride ourselves on that in this show.
Of
Is
course.
that we don't put out false information.
Oh, we'd hate to do that.
Everything, Isaiah, it's part of his job. He's the producer. He live fact checks everything on the show. And if we ever make an error, Isaiah calls attention to it, alerts us, and we correct it immediately on the show. in the rare instance that ever happens, which it doesn't, because
But clearly, if we've ever talked about Cheez Its before, I have been doing a crappy job.
you're doing it now.
I know. I just did
still
it there.
called them Cheez Its.
I just did it there.
Cheez It. So I don't know if this changes how many people will react when they're eating a Cheez It cracker in day-to-day life, but for us, I thought this was important. From now on, if it ever comes up, if there's ever a new Cheez It flavor, the multiple of Cheez It is the plural of Cheez It is Cheez It crackers.
Well, they just love making it hard on us, huh?
Yeah.
I would have loved for it to be just Cheez Its.
That'd be simpler.
The Riot Radio U.
This is a new trend, definitely going around to the UK. I don't know if it's something that's made its way to the United States yet, but apparently a lot of people were using Christmas Day as an opportunity to serve divorce papers.
Divorce papers? Are you out of your mind?
You heard me right.
If I'm opening a gift and I see some papers inside, I'm thinking maybe it's a trip. Maybe we're heading to Cabo. Maybe we're going to Jamaica.
Uh-huh.
I'm not thinking divorce papers.
Well, that would show how oblivious you are.
Clearly, I'm
and
out
why
of the
the
loop.
relationship needs to end.
Yeah, obviously we're not on the same page because I would not be thinking that.
Exactly. This is in the UK. Upset spouses used Christmas Day as an opportunity to serve divorce papers as presents, and it's something that people are also doing for, like, they'll serve the divorce papers specifically on your birthday or on their birthday, on an anniversary, on other holidays. And according to at least divorce attorneys, they're doing this because this is a way of taking back control in a relationship.
Now, what the heck does that even mean? Taking back control.
The thinking is,
Let me ruin your birthday?
I think here.
Happy birthday.
Exactly, yes. And especially if it's your birthday or Christmas, it's not just for this year, for every year. You have to remember how you ruined so much of their life by neglecting them in your marriage.
Seems ridiculous. I would never do that on Christmas. Seems like you're talking to Santa more than me, because if Santa's dropping me off divorce papers, I'm going to be upset with old Sandy for a while.
Yeah.
That is messed up. If you hand me divorce papers, or if I open up a gift of divorce papers on Christmas Day, you better bet your bottom dollar you're not getting a single one of the gifts I got you. There's no way I open that up and I don't retract every single gift I've given you today.
I think the thinking is that if you're serving divorce papers on Christmas, you probably weren't going to get any presents. You didn't expect the other person is so oblivious. They care so little about you. They're hardly even noticing you. Yeah, you live in the same house, but the relationship has grown so cold and distant that they don't even think of you when it comes to present buying time.
Yeah, if that's the only gift I'm opening on Christmas is some divorce papers, and that old gold necklace I just got you just so happens to be being returned tomorrow.
But Isaiah, if you were getting a gold necklace for them, then, I don't know, maybe you just think you can buy all your problems away. But if you're getting a gold necklace, something nice, then that would be a nice gesture that would show that you care. But these people that are probably, the theory is, I think this is just theorizing, that these people that are serving divorce papers as Christmas presents, that the person wasn't thinking of them. Clearly. And so they're not expecting, they would be so oblivious, so unexpecting when Christmas came around that anything was even wrong, that this will ruin it for them forever.
Yeah, well, thank you for ruining my Christmas.
Yeah.
Forever.
It's definitely spiteful.
I would say that's like that's probably the worst day, wouldn't you say? Your birthday, Christmas, Christmas else? One of the days.
Worst,
Christmas has to be the worst.
You're trying to make that a painful day for them for a long time.
When it's supposed to be one of the best days of the year.
Possibly in front of family members.
Oh my gosh.
Humiliating them.
Can you imagine?
Maybe that's what they've done to you all this time.
Maybe, but goodness gracious. Let's say your kids are around. Way to ruin Christmas.
But the kids could see this was coming too.
The
kids could see, the kids knew. They saw all of this. The writing was on the wall. One day, mom's going to snap and finally tell dad that this is it. And so,
jeez, this is the Grinch's true backstory. His parents
That's
got a
right.
divorce
On Christmas Day.
Christmas Day is
Yeah.
what happened.
It is. I'm not defending it. I see the thought process behind it. I mean, I don't know. I'm a softie at heart. Ideally, I'd love. I don't want to see people get divorced, but it's a reality. Christmas is a tough one.
I
That's a
probably
tough
would
one.
lean against old Christmas Day
Yeah.
if you're gonna do it.
Don't say we didn't warn you. This is the worst of the riot.
Isaiah, you ever been surfing?
I haven't.
You've not surfed.
I've never surfed.
Well, you're not a big beach guy, are you?
I don't like the beach much. Not gonna lie.
It's all
I think
the
it's okay.
sand, the sand.
Not a big sand fan.
You just don't like. I
don't mind the water, but the sand not so much for me.
Yeah, so surfing might not. I mean, there's not a lot of sand involved in surfing.
Yeah, I guess not. But I'm not a big beach guy, so I
No.
wouldn't frequent the beach often.
Have you ever seen a shark in person?
Never.
No, not like in the not at the ocean.
Not that I can
Maybe
think
at
of.
the aquarium.
Yeah, maybe at the aquarium. Not like if I was at the beach. I've never looked out and been like, a shark.
All right, picture this. You're at the beach, and you see washed up on the shore. Significantly far enough away from the water that it's not able to swim. It's not able to survive. It's a shark, a beached shark.
Okay.
What do you do?
I don't know what I'd do. I mean, I probably would hope that
Somebody else would deal with it.
somebody else would do something.
Yeah. Well, what if you're its only hope? Picture this. It's a shark.
I'd probably watch from afar.
He's looking up at you. A shark is lying there. He's not any harm to you. He's barely alive. He's lying on the sand. He's looking at you with his eyes. Help me, Isaiah. He's saying. That's what he sounds like.
I don't know if I could do
he's
it.
barely living.
No way.
You couldn't do it even if the shark was, I need help. I need water.
I wouldn't be able to help.
Please.
I would
Isaiah,
not.
I'm a shark. I'm going to die.
I wouldn't be able to do
Don't
it.
carry me to the water.
Like, and realistically,
No one else is around. It's just you and me.
I'd be too afraid to pick it up.
You'd be too afraid.
Like, I'm
He's
such
desperate.
I know, but I'm not good with like animals in the fact like slimy ones. I'm not like I couldn't.
The
pick
sharks are
I couldn't help
notoriously
a
they're not
gecko.
that slimy.
I couldn't help a gecko, let alone a shark. I couldn't help a goldfish, let alone a shark.
Dang. Well, you could never
A
be
catfish.
I guess you could never be. Hey, you got to watch out when you pick them up. They got like spines.
Yeah, I
and stuff.
know.
They can stab you. But you could never be a hero then. Like this man in Australia, his name is Paul Miles, and he's a surfer. He was out surfing when he stumbled upon a shark in this exact scenario. Shark on the beach, needs help. His first instinct was to help, but he didn't want to touch the shark, much like you wouldn't.
Yes, I had no
But
touchy touch.
At least he still sprung into action. He was trying to use his surfboard to push the shark, I guess try to roll it into the water, and that wasn't working for him. So he went ahead, and this wasn't a short trip, but he picked up the shark. The shark's wriggling around and whatever, and he carried the shark into the water to give it another chance at life.
How big of a shark are we talking? Small shark, right? Has to be small if he can pick it up.
I mean, it's not a great white,
Yeah,
but
smaller shark.
I mean, you can look at the pictures here. It's sizable. It's
Decent.
not, you couldn't, I don't think you'd be able to pick it up with one hand.
Yeah.
I think you're thinking if you're doing like barbell curls or whatever,
Yeah.
like that size of a shark. I'm going to guess at least 50 pounds.
So what I'm thinking here is my biggest issue with this is once you make it to the water where the shark can't swim again, what's stopping the shark from just you setting it in the water and it just immediately turning around and just taking your leg off?
Well, what are you talking about?
What do
it
you
has
mean?
a respect for you.
There's no, that's not how
You
sharks
think the
work.
shark was
Grateful?
It was all
no.
grateful? Yeah, you'd think the shark this is a prank to get some easy prey.
I don't know. I don't see the shark immediately clicking out of like, I want to eat mode, which could be you.
Well, I think its first mode is I want to survive, I want to live.
I guess, I'd say that too, yes. But I just
So-
wouldn't be the most shocking thing if the story ended by he put the shark in the water, then was bitten by the shark.
Maybe the reason that sharks attack humans sometimes is because humans don't do enough to help sharks.
It could be it.
And if we just showed them that we have hearts, that we have kind hearts, then maybe sharks wouldn't be so anxious to chomp our legs off.
I mean, would I like to help the shark? I would. Am I capable?
No.
I am not.
You don't have that in you.
I can't do it.
No, not at all. And think of the story, too.
I mean, it'd be a great story for the rest of my life, but I just am not, I'm not heroic enough.
Nobody would probably believe you.
I know, you're right. So why even do it?
Yeah, I guess not. But because it's the right thing to do. That's why.
Save the shark. Not me, though.
That's what I would do.
Oh, likely story. You wouldn't save it.
I have a heroic heart.
You would not save it.
I would, too.
Thanks for watching the worst of the riot. Since you made it this far, you might as well like, subscribe, and check out riot.radiou.com for even more riot.